Good evening and welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining this hour with me, more or less an hour. I want to begin by thanking Yamada Sensei and the USAF and the IAF for including me in this virtual series. It's really an honor and it's a pleasure, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. So we will bow in. Okay, stand up. Let's do some breathing. Breathe in. Exhale. Let it all out. And let the knees slide forward. Exhale. Leave the knees straight. Let the body hang from the hips. Let your upper body relax. Bend the knees. Now the knees and the elbow have the hips and the elbow have a relationship. When the hips move forward, the elbows come up. One more time. Knees straight. Bend. Hips come under. Okay. Stretching. Warming up and down. Now left and right. And ear to shoulder. Add a little bit more trunk. Now around. Both directions. Now add a little bit more trunk. Okay, roll the shoulders forward. Just the shoulder blades. Now backwards. Bend the knees slightly. Keep them facing the front. Relax the arms. Let the body move side to side. That's it. Keep the knees facing the front. Don't let the knees collapse. Okay, reaching to your left. And your right. Reach over and slightly turn. And the other side. Okay, a deeper stance. Let the hips go right in between the legs. Stretching, leave your hands on your knees so you can stretch your chest a little. Now, look over your right shoulder to the ceiling. And the left. One more time. And the other side. Okay, turn. So right side forward. I'm going to look sideways so you can see that the back foot is straight. Okay, back foot is straight. Push with your back foot first. Warming up the lower legs. And now up and down. See if you can maintain your posture as upright as possible. Use both legs for this. That's it. Good. You don't have to go so low if it's compromising your balance. Now, same on the other side. Back straight. Your second toe will match the middle of your heel. Now push forward. And then down. Okay. That's it. Okay. Now, bend one leg, bend your left. Make sure that your other foot is also flat so you can stretch the front part of your lower leg. And let's do the other side. Back to the first side, the left, and now the toes point out. You might feel the stretch traveled from the front to the back of your leg. Now underneath your leg. Other side. That's it. Okay, this time, face your left side. So you will be stretching the front of your back hip. And now, place both hands on your front leg. That's it. So you feel the connection with your front foot and your back foot on the ground. Okay, let's do the other side. Stretching, now your right side is forward. Good, so the only things touching are your left hand maybe, your right foot and your left foot. Your knee is off the floor. Now, once again, both hands on the front leg. That's it. Okay, down. Okay, push your heels out first. Let your body stretch your hips. The body weight moving forward, let it stretch your hips a little. Keeping in mind to push the heels out. Now let's do the left side. Line up your chin with your kneecap, with your bones. So you line up your head with your leg. Other side too. Push the heel out first so that your leg underneath is straight. Okay, now bend that right leg in. So you're stretching on the left, but the right leg is bent in. Okay, switch. Good. Okay, feet together. Now leaning forward, maybe you can crawl forward this way with your hands, letting your upper body again give some weight to stretch the back of the hips. Feet forward, heels out. Now I'm going to stretch by turning to the left and then turning to the right. Keep your feet where they are, open them wide. Scorpion stretch. Now, both feet together, over the right shoulder. Make sure that you don't cover your face, cover your head. Make sure you can still see the ceiling. Prop up your hip with your right hand if you need. And change sides. Both feet over the left shoulder. Make sure you can still see the ceiling. And come up. Okay, so now, put your knees out to the side and your feet are together. So the soles of your feet are close. The ankle, the inside part of your ankle is still touching the mat. And your knees are out. We call this the frog position, frog stretch. And just prop your body up on your elbows and move your hips forward. Okay. Release the legs, leave them out behind you, looking up. Now relax your right hip so you can look at the back, over your left shoulder. Back to the middle, relax your left hip. Look over your right shoulder to the back. Back to the middle. And now sit in Seiza, palms up, dragging your hands, giving the underside of your arm a nice stretch and your rib cage a nice stretch. Okay, now let's stretch from ball of foot to your heels like this. And then the knees together, sitting seiza with your toes live this way. Lean back and your fingertips facing your front this way. So if you ever find yourself with your fingertips back, it locks your elbow. So try it always when you put your hands on the mat that your fingers face in the front of your body. Okay? Come on up. Roll the knees, warm up the knees. Good. Open. And close to the front. Good. Let's warm up the ankle. And the toes. And if you step back a little bit, still the top of the toes. Now the right ankle. Both directions. Top of the toes. And if you step back a little, still the top of the toes. Okay, stretch the elbow, shoulder in front, and the other side. Okay, now warm up the wrists a little bit, just make them do circles both directions, this way, up and down. Not so tight, just loose hands. That's it. And then open, splashing. That's it. Little tapping. Little tapping. Lifting up the body. Great. Okay, so let's do some wrist stretches. Left hami, gokyo. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Right hami, ich, ni, san, shi, go. Left hami, koregaeshi, ich, ni, san, shi, go. This time, kotegaeshi, finish it at the bottom and then extend it out, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, get that stretch and extend. 5. Right hami. So koregaeshi just to the center, right to your center. 4, 5, and then press it down and then extend it out. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now nikyo ura. I like to step forward with the side that I'm stretching because then when I'm taking ukemi and my nage has my arm, immediately I support it with my hami. So left hand forward, left side forward. Nikyo ura. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Right hami. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Sankyo, left hami. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. And let's go to the back. Ich, forward then back. Ni, san, shi, go. Right hami. Sankyo to the front. San, shi, go. Now to the front and then to the side. Ni, san, shi, go. Okay, shihonage, arm right in the center, your elbow right in your center. Now you're going to push the elbow farther than your body, okay? So it looks like koregaeshi, but you're going to push it farther out. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Other side. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Okay, now let's take some ukemi with this wrist, with the wrist stretch. We're going to support it with some body ukemi. I know most of you, some of you, I'd say, are still training in your homes. So not only applying the stretch, but adding a little bit more proprioceptive input, a little bit more body to it. So let's do it in koregaeshi. Let's do left hami. What you're going to do is you're going to apply the koregaeshi to yourself here. At the end of your reach, at the end of your stretch, twist it a little bit more and now follow it with your trunk and lower your body. so you can still see the ceiling. So it's in two phases, right? You've turned it. Now, when you've reached the end of your wrist, turn it some more, and now your body gets involved. 2. So turn at the end. 3. Accompany it. 4. If you can see the ceiling, awesome. And 5. Now the right side. So a little bit more body. You're going to probably need a long stance. If your stance is too short, it's going to be hard to accompany that kotegaeshi. So apply kotegaeshi. Follow it. Now rotate the trunk. Now press and deepen that kotegaeshi. So now the inside part of my knee is matching the outside part of my shoulder. And I can see the ceiling. In other words, I can probably see my nage. Okay? Another time. 2. Come on up. 3. 4. One more time. And make sure you match that rotation with your trunk. 5. Okay, now let's do Nikyo, Ura. Again, you're going to apply the stretch to your wrist. At the end of that stretch, continue to press, and this time your back leg. You're going to go underneath that Nikyo, and you're going to support it with your body, okay? And then to come up, I'm going to use my back foot against the floor. I'm going to push up. So I got sort of compressed, and I'm going to decompress. I'm going to expand, beginning with my back foot, right through the knee, right through my hip, and back up. Okay, let's do that again. Let me see. Apply the Nikyo. Continue to apply and accept it. Now, rising from the back foot, go right through all your joints, and come back up. Okay? Nikyo, sun. Push from the back, right through the hips, and expand the arm. One more time. Push. Good. Your balance is nice and alert, erect. And up. Good. Let's do the other side. Again, provide the rotation for Nikyo here. At the end of that rotation, continue to apply, and now the body experiences that rotation. So now I'm accepting it with the back. Push off of the back foot, come back up, and decompress. One more time. So knee, push up and expand. San, take it all the way down, take it all the way. Your elbows are near your body. And up. Shi, elbows close. That's it. One more, and go. Back leg accepts, then expand. Okay, let's do the Shihonage. Left hand behind. Just grab the back of your gi or the back of your shirt. Now in Shihonage, they're going to break your balance at the corner, right? They're going to break your balance not only to the side, not only to the back, but to the corner. So like that. You can use the other hand for balance. That's it. And the other side. Right there. So even if your back heel comes off the floor, it's okay. As long as you try to bend at the same rate that your elbow is being pulled by your nage, like that. Good. Excellent. Everybody okay? Now, let's do some movement exercises going forward and back. Let's do left hami first. This is a taisabaki. If you can see my feet, I hope you can see my feet. Taisabaki. So in left hami, your forward movement is each, and it's inhaling. When you move back to your back foot, the back leg, knee, and your hands are closed. Okay, so let's do it together. It would be each and knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, exhale, knee, inhale, san, shi. Right hami? This is just traveling along the plane this way. Ready? Right side forward, hands in front, each, fingers open, coming back, knee. Open, each, knee. Inhale, each, exhale, knee, san, shi. Okay, good, looks good. Number 2, this is the second one. This time the arms come up and then they come down. So as I shift my weight forward, I open the hands and I inhale. As I come back, I exhale and I close my fingers. Ending in front of the body. Do not put your hands behind, okay? So coordinate your breathing with your movement. Ready? Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Inhale, sun, exhale, shi. Right, Hami? Everything we do on the left, we do on the right. Ready? Each, knee. Inhale. Each, knee. Each, knee. Sun, shi. Okay, let's do some floor Okami. For some of you guys that have mats, go ahead and use them now. Okay, we're gonna change side to side, like this. One time it's right Hami, move my legs to the side. The next time, left Hami. Move your legs to the side, this way. If you notice, on my way down and on my way up, I always see my imaginary nage or my imaginary uke right there. Up. Exhale on the fall. Inhale when you're seated. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If you have a partner, you can do this in front of each other. Take it to the second level. This time on your knees. Come back. Body upright. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way. Move, come back. And see, I come up and my back foot is live. Keep going. Second position, right on the, that's it. Bring it back. Make sure your center rises, center rises, center rises. Posture. One more time. Right here. Then the third position is standing. It's just like the second position, except I'm going to stand with it. Remember this exercise we did earlier? It's the same one. So from this position, kicking, using the back foot, pushing up, boom, and it pushes my body up. Okay, let's do it together. All the way down, go to position number 2, then from 2, you just stand up for 3. Again, pick a point on your wall, pick a point, maybe your computer, and make sure on your way down and on your way up, you don't lose sight of it. Okay, keep going, let me see. If I can see you the whole time, then that's good. Good, down, switch. Okay, all right. Now let's take a jo. Okay, now we're going to do another ukemi, starting from the ground, and the jo will be on my outside, this way. Okay, see? So the jo's on this side of my hami. Then when I turn and I face the other way, the jo will be on this hand. Go back, and then the jo will be on this hand. Back, and this hand. Okay, start with level number 1, go ahead. Let me see. Keep the jo on the high side. Keep the jo on the high side. This way. Imagine if the jo had energy and it traveled, you're not going to interfere with the travel. You're not going to interfere with it moving across. Okay? Like that. Now, level 2, you're going to get up to your knees, like this. Use your extension of your elbow, brings you up. Elbow bends, elbow extends. Keep going. Change the jaw. Make sure 180 degrees. You're seeing one side of your room and now the other side of your room. Front of the dojo, back of the dojo. That's right. Good. Okay. Now for the top level. Here, imagine if this jaw were traveling this way. If I allow it to go behind me, look. If I allow it to go behind me, it's a pretty hard fall for me. So as the jaw travels back, I accompany it. And it moves through. From here, boom. It continues to move through. Okay? One more time. It's on the high side. Drop the back leg. Now the jaw is going to travel this way. Imagine that somebody's pushing it, or imagine that you have been thrown. So move, allow it to continue. Boom, bringing you back up. Back, here, allow it, and you rise with it. Good. Okay. If you don't have room in your space, you know, a short stick will do also. You can have just a short weapon. Just imagine that the weapon travels without interruption, side to side. Okay? Good. Okay. All right. Let's move to the next exercise. Let's work on the hips. Just take your stick, your jo, whatever you want. I like to use this one to show because it's you can see it against the white of the camisa, of the wall. So hold the stick this way though. Don't overhandle it, okay? What's gonna happen is, I'm gonna let it drop, but I'm going to catch it before it touches the floor. In other words, I wanna blend with it, okay? And I still wanna be in good posture when I do that, okay? I don't wanna catch it this way. That would not be good. Okami, that would not be good. That would be terrible for my back. So from here, just the fingertips. Remember, gravity is a constant. As soon as I let it drop, boom, I catch up with it. Let it drop from your fingertips. Posture upright. Right there. Good. Keep going. Don't cheat yourself by, don't do this, okay? Look, don't do this. That wouldn't do anything for your Okami. Fingertips, let it drop, and follow it. So if your hips are locked, you're gonna find if your knees are stiff, if your hips are stiff, it's gonna take you a millisecond to catch up, and it's gonna be a rough catch. So you really should relax everything, get ready for the fall, and drop. And like that, okay? That's it. Posture, that's it. Let it drop, let it go, and keep up with it. Let it go, and good. Good. Watch your posture when you catch it. Good. Excellent. So it's like a free fall, right? It's nice because it gives you something else to think about. And you don't even realize, if you relax, it's actually like a weightless. It almost travels. Because it's the same speed, you don't see it traveling quickly. All right, now let's do an arc exercise. Left hami. This is for the hips again. This is for balance. Left side forward, this way. And touching the floor, all the way to the base of your palm, okay? Like that. Boom. If you can raise your leg, that's good. If not, it's okay to do this. Just keep your back straight. But it's the base of your palm. Make a big arc, the biggest arc you can make with your hand. If you have really excellent control of the balance, or you want to challenge your balance, now put your stick, your tanto, your shoto, whatever. This is about a 2-foot stick. I extend it, boom. All the way down, and then all the way up. Like that. Okay, this is the balance, strengthening the hip, being aware of your balance. Right there. Okay, let's do it the right side also. First, without anything if you want, just base of your palm to the ground. Using your back leg to counterbalance that. If you are wanting to challenge yourself, boom, a little bit farther. Focusing on the point, on the end. So now my attention needs to be 2 feet out. Good. All the way out and all the way back. Continue. Good. Excellent. Good. All right. If you have a tanto, you know the tanto has a blade side. Now we're going to do the okami. So if I'm thumbs up on the front, when I reach the apex of my arc, I'm going to shift my direction, and now I'm going to be thumbs down on this side. And I'm going to create a big arc again, and now I'm taking okami wings. Okay? So if this was a strike, thumb up, at the apex, shift, it becomes thumb down on the other side. Now I'm going to be left hand forward, right foot forward. Okay, let's do that together. Left and left, big arc, shift, thumb down, left and right. Left and left, big arc, shift, left and right. Do it a few more times. Thumb up on the left side, front, reach the arc, peak, shift, now thumb down, left to right. Good. Ikkyo Okami. It's like a shomen, exaggerated shomen, and then receiving Ikkyo Okami. Okay, let's do the right side a few times. Here, up, over, and down. If you have extension, it's fine. If not, just use your hand. Over and back. Good. One more time. Over, shift, shift, big arc. Okay. When it's on the front, it's thumb up. Now receive Ikkyo this way, shift, thumb down. Okay, let me see. Cut the floor, raise it up, shift, and good. Okay, good. Now, if you have a place to roll, you can do this. If not, it's okay just to practice this part of it. Remember the stick that dropped? Both hips are relaxed. Now, the stick is here, right in between. So as I move through, I'm going to place the stick down. It's as if I caught it, right? I guide it to the floor. From there, I can take a front roll. And you see how steady and you see how quiet it is? Even though I had a forward movement, I took the time, I gave it the attention to place it on the ground, and then I roll away from it, okay? So this means that I took the time to bend my knees, soften my hips, and merge with the ground before I took my roll. If you have the room, you can do that. If not, just do this in hami. Take it all the way in hami and make sure you can lay it flat quietly all the way to the ground so that your okami doesn't have this, right? Your okami is flat. See, I'm delivering it flat, even. Let me see some of you guys who are not good. Okay, good. Some of you have nuts. Excellent. Good. Make sure you take the time to lay it down flat. Absorb all the energy away from it before you leave it. Good. Don't take it with you. I want you to actually leave it. For example, look, I step forward and I'm a little, I didn't take all the time, look at what happens. See how much residual movement there is? See how much energy was left over? So even if my forward momentum, if I just leave it, look at that. That's kind of like my fall. My fall was a little bit like that. But if I take the time, I step forward and I make it even. I use my hips and everything, look. Before I leave it, it's perfectly still. That means I took the time to use all the joints I can before I borrowed all the energy from it. Okay, give it a try again. Leave it on the floor. Make sure it doesn't rattle around. And if you have room and if you're more advanced, then go longer. See if you can really make that roll still before you leave it. Okay? And again, if you don't have the room, just take a big step forward and lay it down. Big step forward, lay it down. Big step forward, lay it down. Do both sides. Big step forward, lay it down. Even. When you release, it should be very quiet. Because if you take a fall, it should still be very quiet. Okay? Good. Be careful with your wall. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. Grab your Joe. Let's do some hip mobility, some hip exercises. With the Joe on the hip, let's do left hammy. Left side forward, but the Joe is on your back hip. Okay? So left hammy, but the Joe is on your right hip. Back hip. Sorry. Okay. Just turn the body this way. Pushing the back hip forward. See how the Joe travels? Like that. That's it. I'm still watching. My attention is still forward, using the hip rotation. Watch your elbow. Make sure it doesn't fly out. I'm not doing this. I'm not just using my arm. I'm using the relationship of my hip with the trajectory of the weapon. That's it. Other side. Right hammy. Joe is on the left hip. Good. Make sure you don't give your back. Let the hip turn. Send the weapon forward. Okay? One more time, left hammy. I'm going to step away because I'm going to poke you guys. So the weapon is on the right side, left hammy. When it travels across, now you're going to extend with your left side. Okay? So here's my hammy, back hip, rotate, and then extend. Rotate from the back, extend from the front. Rotate, project. That's it. Left hammy, boom. One more time. Rotate, project. The stronger I project, the stronger this back hip needs to move back. That's it. So the hip moves forward, and then the back hip moves back. One more time. Moving it forward, moving it back. Okay? Change sides, right hammy. Now the weapon is on your left side. Same thing. Back and thrust. That's it. Turn, turn. The back hip moves forward. The back hip moves back. Turn and turn. Keep going. Keep moving. That's it. And the more you thrust, the more that back hip needs to move to counterbalance. Good. Excellent. From the left to the right. Good. Excellent. Okay, so we're just going to add another step to this. From left hami, this time you're going to put it on your left side, okay? So left hami, left hip, front hip. All you're going to do is kaiten. Kaiten, and now we're back to the other exercise again. Okay? Weapon on the front hip. Kaiten with the front. Letting the weapon travel through. And now thrust with the opposite hip. Okay? Weapon in the front. Kaiten with the front leg. And thrust. Right hami. Kaiten, now I'm in left hami. Boom, thrust. And repeat. Left hami becomes right. Boom, thrust with the right. Right hami becomes left. And left side. Go ahead. That's it. Good. From the front hip. And there you go. Kaiten with the front. So, kaiten with the front, thrust. Kaiten with the front, thrust. Okay, so Maite Sensei, let's do an example of when we can use this kind of hip work, okay? So let's say in Gyaku Hami, she's here, and I do a kaiten. So now she's on my back hip. If I practice this, now I deliver her to the front hip and Kojigaeshi. Okay? So like a ski, Gyaku Hami relationship. If I kaiten here, she's behind me, but I use my back hip, boom, to guide her and to lead her in front of me. And now my front side. So it would have been kaiten, thrust, right? From the front leg. Kaiten, thrust with the back. Okay. Sorry. So kaiten, move, and project with the front. Front leg kaiten, using my back hip to move her through, and thrust. Okay, thank you. So if you have a partner, do that. If you don't have a partner, continue to practice that one, please. Just use the front hip. Imagine a ski. Lead and step. From the front side, imagine a ski, kaiten. Use the back hip to lead forward and thrust. Good. Okay. Good. So another basic technique, again, from the relationship of Gyaku Hami, this. If I just go a little deeper than Koregaeshi, this way, I can still use the back hip to provoke stepping. Okay? I can still use my back hip. So kaiten here, and now using the back hip, I cause movement, and now she ends up on this side. For iriminagi. Okay. Kaiten, using the back hip. Rotate, using the back hip. And throwing with the front hip. Kaiten, moving her through. Okay. Continue. Kaiten with the front. Now, push it through and irimi. Okay. Another basic technique. Using kaiten from this strong rotation of the front hip, and I'm using the back hip. Remember, I brought her forward this way to the other side of my body. Okay, one more time. Kaiten, remember, using the back hip to move her through. Now I just use the power of the back hip here, still moving the back hip through and cutting down. And from here, you can do a kaitenage. Front hip becomes back hip. Back hip pushes forward. Kaitenage. Front hip becomes my back hip. My back hip now, the power to move it across. I use that power to break her balance. And down. One more time. So, rotating, pushing through here, using the back hip, breaking her balance, and forward. Tighten, and forward. Okay? Rotate one more time. Give it a try. Remember the back hip, emphasis on the back hip. Cut and throwing forward. That's it. Cut, cut, cut the elbow, cut down, and then kaitenage. Okay? So let's do one last pattern. If you can take it. One last pattern. You can grab your jo again. This time we're going to have 2 rotations. Okay? The last pattern, it was on the front hip, and then thrust. Okay? It was on the front hip, ooh, then thrust. Now we're going to do 2 rotations. So if you're going to be in left hami, do your left hami. This time, you're going to turn and turn again. Then thrust. When you thrust, kaiten front, kaiten front. When you thrust, you can thrust with this side or you can just project with both sides. Okay? So your original view, you rotate the hip, you rotate it again, bang, and you're throwing back in the same direction. So left hami, kaiten A, kaiten front, which is right hami. Now, another kaiten. Back to left hami, bang. You can project forward. Right side. Kaiten with the front, transfer. Kaiten with the front, transfer, and then you can project forward. Many techniques, this can be used for many techniques, so either hand at the end you can project. Just rotate with the front. Rotate with the front, project. Again, keep going. 2 kaitens. On the front hip. Rotate, transfer, rotate, project, forward. Good. Great. Excellent. Good. Okay, just watch 1 second. When can we use this? For example, ski. So I rotate here, and I'm going to rotate again. Okay. Earlier, with 1 rotation, I pushed her through. So I threw her in the original direction that she came from. So earlier, 1 kaiten, using the back hip, cause motion, throwing in the direction where she was originally looking. Here, pull. Same thing with kotegaeshi. With 1 rotation of the hip, I'm using the back hip for motion. Sending uke in the same direction originally where they were going. She's looking that way, bang. Send her forward. Even if she doesn't finish it, I step to her back and through. Now, 2 rotations. Look at the 2 rotations. Kaiten, Kaiten, and I send her back where she came from. This time I'm throwing in the direction I'm looking. Kaiten, push through, Kaiten, same direction. Come in, Kaiten, now, loading, turning. So 2 kaitens. It would be shift, shift, and throw, depending on the technique. I can step forward with this side, or I can move through and step forward on this side. So ski, kaiten, breaking the balance. Now from here, back hip, kaiten, and again. Okay, another one. Kaiten here, moving her through. Right? One kaiten. Now, leading her through. But before she passes me, I kaiten again. Look at the 2 kaitens here. 1 second. Kaiten, kaiten. Front leg each time. Front leg, front leg. When we were doing it with the Joe, it looked like this. Boom, front leg. Boom, front leg. See? So I'm transferring. Using the rotation of the hip, I'm transferring. I am not static. I'm not turning and my weight is staying on one side. I transfer the weight. I transfer the weight. It just means, though, I'm in hami each time. See, I'm in hami. I'm in hami again. But each time, I'm moving it through my body. So when I do something like this, I accept here, I move it through, up, and I accept it, and I rotate back. I'm throwing back in the direction of the original attack. Here, move her through. Thank you. Okay, can I see the double rotation one more time? And then I think we can show a couple of techniques and call it a day. Let's see. Double rotation. Kaiten A, front, then kaiten again. Yes, you can take it to the ground if you want. Good. Remember, posture upright. That's it. Slide through. Slide through. Don't just rotate, rotate. Slide through. Good. Excellent. I think, okay, let's finish the class. Thank you for participating. I really appreciate it. I just want to show you that I have been really thinking about that use of the back hip, even though we tend to see a forward motion this way, looking flat, right? It looks flat. So my hips are traveling in an even way. So even though I'm in a hami, my left and my right hip bones sort of travel at the same speed. So it's kind of a flat feeling. But what I've been working on, or what I've been thinking about, if you put an angle, so now I'm putting my back hip behind my front hip, I have a little bit stronger thrust, okay? So what looks to be just front and back has this element to it, okay? So I'm using this angle, and I'm using the back hip. Either hami, from here to here, which means if I'm using a thrust this way, see? It's very even, so I feel like it's 50% here and 50% here. But what I do right before is I roll and rotate the hip. See how my hands almost merge? Then from here, then I thrust, so I'm more triangular. So instead of being so square, I roll the hip either back or forward, and I merge, and then I thrust that way. It can be done on either side. Here, rolling and thrusting. Rolling the hip and thrusting, okay? They're all valid. I mean, they're all valid movements. You can practice it forward and back even, or you can start feeling this little bit of a hip support by aligning the bones before you thrust forward, okay? So let's go back to the mat. One last exercise for everyone before we end the class. And a little bit of a core strengthening this way. The hips this way. So I'm just going on one bone, one hip, and then I'm just traveling to the other hip along the back, just like that. That's it. Good for Okami, good for conditioning. Right there. Just rocking up and down, feeling my weight go this way, and then feeling my weight go this way. Come up slightly, turn it, down the other side. Up, switch it, and go up the other side, like that. Okay? Good for conditioning and good for Okami, so your feet don't crash on the ground. And another one for the core muscles, if you're interested, there's another one where you're just doing this. So I lift one hip, then I switch. I lift one hip, then I switch. Lift and switch. Lift and switch. Just like that. You're lifting the top first, and the bottom hip follows it. Just like that. You're going to feel this in a different place. You're going to feel it a little bit higher, like that. Again, good for Okami. Good for keeping your legs from falling out too far from the body and keeping your rolls nice and tight. Like that. Up and back. This is like skipping. Like that. If you do back and forth, skip and skip. You can match the hands too if you want. See? Helps everything, helps the hips move. Like that. Okay? Thank you very much for your attention. Let us do some breathing, and then we will bow out. Breathe. Exhale. Palms up, halfway. Palms down, exhale. Roll them forward and out. It's one continuous motion, okay? Up, half, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Breathe. Exhale, let it go. Breathe again. And let it go. One more. Hands together. And release. Fix your gis, please. Fix your clothes. And we will bow out. Thank you very much. Thank you again. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thanks for sharing this time with me. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sensei.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Sensei.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, you hung out the whole time. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So thanks, Sylvie. Nice to meet you. Awesome. So much.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you, Anna, Adriana, everybody.
Awesome class. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody that participated. I saw you guys. That was good. And nobody broke any furniture, I hope. But anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Irina, thank you. I know it's late for you, but I appreciate organizing it. And you guys, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Some of you I see on Tuesdays as it is, but the other ones, I really appreciate it. I hope you guys got something out of it for yourself and for solo training or for distance training. Any of these things can be done with, different lengths of weapons. You can even push each other using the jo to provoke some of these balances. So a lot of it is just core and hip strengthening. So thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Take care. Have a wonderful evening.
Gracias.
See you soon. Bye-bye.